Hi, I'm Mike Mulligan, and I'm going to do Cover-ups 101 today. This is how the NRC and energy of a large corporation does a cover-up. One has to remember in this, and this wasn't known at the time, but what happened was that when Energy tried to purchase new SRVs. They didn't have Type 1 SRVs. I don't know what that means. They didn't have Type 1 SRVs, whatever that means. It wasn't no longer manufactured by the manufacturer. There wasn't any accessible, but it'd take a while for it to manufacture. Whatever the definition of. There's a lot of details of there wasn't any Type 1 SRVs there. There's a lot of details that are missing why there wasn't any proper SRVs, actuators there. Normally the way that goes is the vendors, the nuclear industry is really in the scale of things. It's a tiny industry. They're not building new plants, and the vendors and the manufacturers don't have an incentive. The business isn't big enough for them to make components that they can make money on and stuff. And so they don't care. They don't make money on it, so they don't carry a lot of the products anymore. A lot of the components are 1960s design and 1970s design and stuff like that. So it's obsolete, and so there's new stuff that came about. There was a bunch of companies sold, and they went out of businesses and consolidated with other companies and stuff like that. And there's a world of change that's been out there in 30 years and stuff, and so that's why these parts aren't available. So the analysis behind this, the safety analysis behind this is Three Stooges. It's beyond Three Stooges. Like these guys slapping each other in the head, and it's funny and stuff like that. But I don't. These are smart guys, and they don't behave like that. They're only doing that stuff to cover something up and stuff. So these were new valves, just bought, installed one time, and then they failed. And then they said it was thermal degradation that failed seals on this guy. And thermal degradation, and this is really skimpy material. A couple of sentences on stuff, and there's a ocean underneath it that of information that they don't disclose. And so thermal degradation, what's that mean, and stuff. And you could thermal degradation, Type 2 valves, unqualified valves, and stuff. What would get you to the point of thermal degradation? We all know that the containments are like 130, 140, 60, 160, maybe some spots up above, or 190 degrees and stuff like that. And if the valve is qualified for 400 degrees, how can you even think about having thermal degradation? And stuff. It doesn't make sense. It's insanity. And in order for this thermal degradation mechanism to work, you'd have to have something in there that caused the temperatures to be higher than 400 degrees, and that would overheat the seals. They were only designed for 400 degrees, maybe 450 degrees in there, and that made the material brittle and caused the leak rate to fail and stuff. But we know that didn't happen. So this whole thermal business is part of the cover-up. This is how they do cover-ups in the nuclear industry. They fracture information. They don't disclose information immediately. They hide information in evaluations and They hire contractors to do these evaluations, and it's not to disclose information. It's to say that they got it's in an investigation, and we don't want to disclose information on an ongoing investigation. It's just a scam to buy time. That's what it is. They hire these gunslinger vendors that do evaluations, and They tell them to just delay. We just want this delayed for a year or whatever you have and stuff. And they pre-order what the outcome of the evaluation is. You know, we want at the end. I don't care how much money we spend on this, but it's going to be thermal degradation, because we can save a lot. We can make a lot more money lying than we can do telling the truth. So you know, that's the nature of it. So it was thermal degradation. The Mittens by Vermont Yankee was thermal degradation. The NRC now says it's not. It wasn't thermal degradation at all. It was the wrong material. It was a type 2 material, right? They knew type 2 from the beginning, but they called it thermal degradation in the beginning. It's the cover-up. It's how they. That's how these engineering organizations do cover-ups. They scam engineering and stuff, and we all consider these guys highly educated and gods and stuff like that, and they never can be challenged or anything like that. They don't have to have facts based on the assertions they make and stuff like that. And so that's the cover-up and stuff. And they went through two cycles with these bad materials in there. Now they got bite tall stuff, and you know, it's more or less like the old stuff, but you have to be seen if they're really qualified. So Vermont Yankee has to do. They can keep operating if one valve is bad. They have to shut down when the second one is known to be bad, and stuff. And like I said before, there's a barrier there. You can't. Those SRVs are in a room that is a human. People can't go in there, and it's instrumented primitively and stuff. They have these requirements that, well, if it gets a leak to be leaked at this such and such a rate, you have to be shut down. But they have no means to measure that rate when they're at power. You know, it's a dangling tech spec. It only is operable. You only can see it at power, but you only can detect it when you're shut down. So, you know, did this thing happen, you know, a week after they started up from the first outage and stuff, and you know, they went on for 18 months. Or was it the last week? Did it degrade the last week and stuff, and stuff like that? So, you know, so that, you know, I mean, I want you to know that you know, it doesn't seem like a big deal that talking about you know, is it a thermo? It's a big deal. I mean, that is, you know, they sit there and say, what rationale can we tell the public in the NRC that they'll swallow that gets us to stay operating and stuff like that? And so they, you know, thermal degradation fits all of that sort of cover-up tool. You know, telling the honest thing that it was the wrong material would have if they would have said that, then the NRC would have never let them start. I'm certain that they would have never let them start up with in-op SRVs. And again, you know, they say there's 2 good SRVs. Well, there was really 4 that were all bad because it was the wrong material for 2 years. And again, you know, you got to be accurate. You got to be accurate. You got to know what the hell you're doing, and you got to document it, and you have to be accurate. That's the game of nuclear safety. Anything less than that is you're playing with the devil. And so this is the nature of the cover-up. This is the 2 things: degradation, thermal degradation was the cover-up term. The real term was the wrong material, and they knew that before they even put them damn valves in there, that it was the wrong material, and they took a shot anyways. Thank you.